Microcredit was created as a defiance of the system. It's not part of the system. It challenged the system. You said financial institutions are like this. We said, how come? How come it doesn't work for these people? So we created a counterculture of financial institution, which works completely separately, completely in opposite direction. They go to the rich, we go to the poor. They go to men, we go to women. They go to the city, we go to the village. So this is a counterculture we did that. So this is a failure of the system, that it remained hundreds of years doing the same thing over and over, leaving the poor people and the people below the 50% level of the population up to the loan sharks. And that's going on and flourishing even in the USA. We have 4 branches in New York City. We started in 2008. Now it's beautiful. We have nearly 7,000 borrowers right there in New York City. Repayment rate is 99.3%. No collateral, no guarantee, no paperwork. It works beautifully. We are invited to do it in Omaha, Nebraska. There's another branch in Indianapolis. In a couple of months, there'll be another branch in San Francisco, because they're invited. People say, here's the money, do it here. So we go and do it. And there's another branch coming up in Detroit. Europe, we are in Kosovo directly, but there are programs, their own initiative in France, in Norway, in UK, in Spain, in Italy, and many places. In Italy, they have several programs in Sicily. One is Bologna. These are 2 places that I know, but there are many microcredit programs of their own initiatives. We discussed with Italian companies. There are lots of people became interested in Bocconi University. They became very interested. They created a social business center there. We have a European School of Design based in Milan. They have a whole course on social business designs, and they put 7 of their top students to work with the social businesses to help us design products, design process, design things, and as a part of their master's degree. So I go there every year to hand over the diploma to all those people who did the social business. So this is the relationship with the academics happening. With the politician, Madame Moratti in Milan, she was very strong supporter of social business, but she's no longer the mayor anymore. Perfumer of UniCredit, very strong supporter. He helped us to create Grameen UniCredit Foundation to promote microcredit. But then he left his job, he was fired from his position. So that kind of foundation is still there, money is still there. We are trying to organize it, how to do that. We have very strong relationship with the Florence University. They have a center for social business. They want to make Florence as a social business city. So that's another. So we have lots of interconnections with us. People keep coming back and forth. And I'll be visiting Mastro Boselli, my daughter, and he will be performing in May, I think. And he created a foundation, Boselli Foundation, and put me into the board. And I'm saying that I'll join your board provided your foundation work for social business. He said, everything you say will follow. So that is another relationship that we have.
You will sing with him, right?
My daughter will sing with him. My daughter is an opera singer. Yeah, yes. So she already in USA. She performs in Metropolitan Opera.
Okay.
She's an opera singer. So already they have talked to each other, my daughter and Boselli, and they are very impressed by her voice and everything. They got the videos and so on. She said, okay, we'll perform together. So I will go and they will perform together, and we'll have the foundation board meeting and so on, design things and so on. So there's a lot of relationship building up. The Grameen name doesn't have a patent right on anybody because it's a local word. It's a village estate. So anyway, there are many companies in Bangladesh with Grameen name, which has nothing to do with us. So using that name, legally there is no bar. But when we do it, it has a meaning. I'm emphasizing Disaster is something bad, but it is also an opportunity. When things don't work, this is the best time to redesign things, rework. We are not paying attention to that. We are not visioning. We're always trying to fix things. Some few people screwed up the system in the financial sector. They gambled in the financial sector. Financial crisis came in New York City. Who are the victims? Whole world is victim. Many factories closed down. Many people lost their job all over the world because of the financial crisis. I didn't create it. Why did I become a victim? Who controls the people who are creating all these problems? That question is not answered. So we have to create a sense that I'm responsible and I can manage my own life. Nobody can mess up with my life. So what kind of life would that be? This is the question, that redesigning system. So we need a redesigned system, and it can be done. That's what I'm saying. By putting building blocks. You don't design it overnight, one blueprint comes, we do that. We add pieces and pieces if our goal is well defined. And I define the goal from my side, and if anybody else to define them, they're fine. We decided on producing yogurt to address the malnutrition. Put all the micronutrients into the yogurt, and make sure that if the child eats this yogurt, 2 cups a week over 8 to 9 months, they will get all the micronutrients back, becomes a healthy child. I want to have the smallest possible plant without sacrificing efficiency. Then I'll sell it around this plant. So you don't need a cold chain. And already they have talking, cold chain is the most expensive part of this business, because you have had a big factory, big plant, and from one part of the country you have to take another part of the country. It takes days, it's a shelf life. I will make as many plants as needed. Because if it is economic, I have no problem. It pays for itself. And I dismiss with all the requirement of cold chain. So that becomes, and it's the local milk, go into this plant and come back for their own children. They know it's a cow, produces the milk, it comes back for their child with this yogurt. They find that this plant is their plant. They share it. And it's a social business. Nobody's making money out of it. So nobody's taking it. So the association, relationship becomes a human relationship. And they liked it. So that's the reason why we did. Now we are building the second plant. Because first plant capacity is already exhausted. The second plant and third plant and so on will go on the series of that. When you have a huge big thing and all your life you have done this, you started a tiny little thing in one village, built it a whole nationwide thing. Suddenly you said you're out. You don't know, nobody knows why you're out. No explanation. Said you're too old. So how come you wake up after so many years that I'm too old? You said you should have resigned when you're 60, which I did. But my board says you stay on. Because our law is in our hand, we decide what the managing director's age should be. So we are completely comfortable with you. So I continued. Now, 11 years later, they are saying you are 11 years over age, you should have resigned. I said, what happened in between? Why didn't you wake up and say, sorry, you are overweight, you have to go? Suddenly you issue a letter. Suddenly in the phone call, Professor Yunus, we're sorry to say that, but you know, you're in conflict with legal requirement. Please help us. It's a decent way to do that. Don't say that you are overage, you are no longer the managing director. That's not a nice thing to do. I'm a very busy person. You see that spend a lot of time going around and promoting the idea of social business. We created some 50 plus companies. So these companies keep me busy inside the country. And there are many people who want to set up social businesses around. Like I spoke here and many people seeing me, I want to do this, I liked your idea, how can I do this? So I'm always advising. Here one after another people are coming. People travel from other states to come and meet me. So it keeps me busy. So and I enjoy that. I would say more busy than I was ever.